Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Brahmani adhaya karmani Sangam tyaktva karoti yaha Lipyate nasa papena Padma Patram ivamhasa. One who performs his duty without attachment, surrendering the results unto the Supreme God, is not affected by sinful action, as a lotus leaf is untouched by water. This is very famous line. Lotus leaf untouched by water. Many times you have heard. Correct? We should be like a lotus leaf. That is why they have a traditional system. Person should not go across 7 seas. Because generally, the people with a weak process will get destroyed by that. The process is very weak. Just like I heard, some preachers are there. When they take class, or when they go anywhere, if you arrange a program for them, not one woman should be there in the program. Process is very weak. Here we have, there are some preachers. It's not a sampradaya, if I call it, it's upper sampradaya. They have their teachers, the so-called brahmacharya. They go to take class, and they don't allow a single woman should not be there in the hall. People say, very, very. It's all bogus. That means the process is very weak. Here in Krishna consciousness, we have people who are even married, and they can be very advanced devotees. Correct? Because the process is very powerful. In fact, in the Advaita Tattva, in the Shankara, you have to take sannyas. They don't even talk before that. And when you take sannyas, you become Narayana. So we are not dealing with something fast like this. This is proper process as recommended by the Acharyas. So the first thing is how? Because Lord Chaitanya has ordered to preach. In fact, Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada used to say you should preach in a congested area with a lot of thick population. But then if you go to preach in the congested area, we are surrounded by asatsanga. Correct? So what will happen to us? We are going for meetings, so many people every day. All are asat only. So how will I protect myself? It's very difficult. Correct? It looks very difficult. We go to work, we see so many patients. All are asat only. So it is not easy actually. Padma Patram Vivambasa is easy to speak, but at the same time, we can understand very easily the principle at least. Suppose you have something to do and you're trying to do that. Even if somebody catches you, you'll not stop that work because you're busy to accomplish that work. So as a person is fixed in Krishna consciousness, he is very much fixed to accomplish something for the Lord. Even if somebody holds him for some time, just a matter of time, he will free himself and run to do the job. You understand? Unless this is there, they have to accomplish something for the Lord. The person will be drowned very easily by Maya into various kinds of foolishness. Correct? When he has something to do, suppose you develop desire, that is called Prabhu Desha Seva. Okay? As such, we are practicing Krishna consciousness and we are reading Prabhupada books. But then you develop a desire to offer some service to Guru and Krishna. Correct? Just like you develop a desire, let me make something very special and offer to Krishna. Let me give a nice dress to Krishna. Let me give a nice jewelry to Krishna. Let me make a beautiful temple for Krishna. Let me distribute 1 million books of Prabhupada. Some desire. Okay? Let me distribute holy name in the society. Something. And everybody has different abilities, something they develop. And once they also develop a process, when they do that, it's happening. Then it's very difficult. Correct? You cannot stop him now. Now it cannot be stopped. It's like Srila Prabhupada used to say, now bring all the fire brigades. You cannot stop this movement. This movement cannot be stopped. Correct? Actually, this movement is directly protected by Narasimha Deva. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to do Nama Sankirtana, so there was one, some people used to go with their big beards to try to stop it. But when it used to go nearby, the beard used to get burnt. And there was a person, Chand Kazi, who was actually complaint came from the caste Brahmanas. The complaint came from the caste Brahmanas, and complaint was this, that this personality of Lord Chaitanya is doing adharma. Why is doing adharma? That's the problem actually. Basically the process of Krishna consciousness is transcendental, and this all karmakanda, jnanakanda is material. So the thing is, early morning they're chanting so loudly. Whole day they're chanting so loudly. We should chant when in the water we are taking bath, something like that. There's bringing some silly rules. Just like there was a time we were doing Nama Sankirtana near the Venkateramana temple. You have seen that in Mangalore. And there was nice kirtan going on. Somebody called me from that area and he said, what is all this? Is this your temple? I said, yes. Now are they doing kirtan? I said, yes. No, the problem is that they are wearing slippers. Just imagine, such mad. How do you deal this? Therefore, these people who do not know the rules properly, they make a mess of the whole thing. Correct? What do we do? So they are more bothered about this, rules which are not very important, and they are not bothered about following the rules of Krishna consciousness. That is the problem. In fact, in South India, that is a major problem among caste Brahmanas. They find fault with silly faults like this, and they are not bothered actually about practice of Krishna consciousness, which is completely transcendental. Correct? We have enough cases you must have heard like that. We get sick of that. Silly things, details they are bothered about. They have no idea about the essence. Therefore, it is called niyamagraha, following the niyamas without knowing the essence. Correct? They found, in fact, Srila Prabhupada had this big problem. Prabhupada says these unfortunate people are getting envious of the glorious movement of the Lord. Prabhupada had enough people, no shortage of them. Okay? So we are developing the first point, Padma Patra Ivambasa. So we have to, sometimes it is true that rules and regulations get adjusted by the Acharya, not us, in trying to preach all around the world. He had to adjust. In fact, Tulsi took some time for Tulsi plants to come in so many temples. But where is Tulsi there? Then there was a devotee, Prabhupada writes her name also in Bhagavatam, Govinda Dasi. She arranges for Tulsi seeds from India and she gives to every temple in America. And they put, in the beginning they were not successful. Slowly, big, they had Tulsi plants coming out. And they were Prabhupada was so happy. Okay? So it takes all time. Time and situation, so many things are applied. But you have to know the essence to apply it. Just like I said every time, if you know computer science, you can make a nice application according to the situation. But you should know computer science. If you don't know computer science, you cannot make the applications, correct? So the person who knows spiritual science, an acharya, can make an application without breaking any fundamental principle. Just like if you know computer science, you make an application, then the programs will work. Because you have not broken any rules of computer science, correct? But a common man who doesn't know the science, what he has done that. Even though it is very successful. Suppose you make a machine for, a shopkeeper to make tally, say, his accounting in some way. Because you know the science, you made it. Machine is a bit different, but it is far, out sale. Everybody wants it. It's working very nicely. But somebody who finds fault can still find fault. Even though everybody is finding so beneficial. The process of Krishna consciousness has turned around the life of millions of people all around the world and given them hope that they can succeed and reach the Krishna's lotus feet. But still some people find fault with it. That's a funny thing actually. That's a funny thing. It's a glorious process of Lord Chaitanya and is protected by Narasimha Deva. So Chandakazi got some fault from this caste Brahmanas, funny faults. The fault are like this, they chant not in the proper time and they're chanting a whole night, day they chant. By this the power of holy name will reduce and great adharma will happen. So Chandakazi, when he heard that, He said, okay, I'll take some action. He sent some people and they broke the mridanga. Stop all this. And if you go to Mayapur, that was, you've seen the broken mridanga is kept. You have seen? You should see. You gone to Mayapur? You should go. There is a temple where they keep the broken mridanga. Where the Shiva Sagan, where the mridanga was broken on broken mridanga, they're in the altar. They keep on broken mridanga. So anyway, so that is a very important principle. So in the same way, so Chandakazi, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I later had met Chandakazi, and there was a discussion. At that time, he asked Chandakazi that some discussion. So at that time, Chandakazi revealed and that actually that I was that very night when I broke the mridanga, in my dream Narasimhadeva appeared. Big lion face. He doesn't know what is Narasimhadeva. Big lion face with nails. Today I am going to kill you. And he was like holding nails on his chest. So therefore Lord Chaitanya's mission is protected. He cannot disturb it. He will destroy it if you try to touch it also. It's the mission of Lord Chaitanya. Param Vijayata Shri Krishna Sankirtana. It is all glories to this glorious movement of Lord Chaitanya. Okay? It's true, Maya will test our determination, that's fine. But as far as us is concerned, our only thing that blocks is our own sincerity. Otherwise, it's protected by Lord Chaitanya. That is why Padma Patram Ivambasha. That is why. It is the lotus leaf not touched by water. When you take up the mission and proceed, mercy of Lord Chaitanya is always with you to protect you. Correct? We go for so many services, we meet so many people in our profession also. Our devotees go for some services, they meet so many public. They're protected. Why? Because of mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Because they're trying. It's a completely transcendental process to try to distribute Krishna consciousness. And when you are doing that sincerely, we are protected by Lord Chaitanya. We are full in meditation. That we are offering ourselves to the Lord. My dear Lord, please use me. And we are seen by the Lord by our sincerity. How does the Lord see us? Because we are sincere. When we are seen by the Lord for our sincerity, then we are recognized and then we are protected. Krishna gives you a kavacha. Just like there is Narayana kavacha. You heard that in Bhagavatam? So there is a kavacha that comes. And what is the kavacha? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Because of the kavacha, this kavacha cannot be broken. Because of the kavacha, actually, we are able to work in the process of Krishna consciousness. There is another point here is that it is said, our body belongs to Krishna. This comes in the pastime of Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Goswami came to meet Lord Chaitanya, and then what happened? He developed on the way some infection. He took bath in some pond and he got some infection. So, the pores from that started leaking. You get some allergy sometimes. Doctors know. Not pus. There is a discussion with Prabhupada. It's a Prabhupada said, not pus. Water. Oozing. Sometimes water comes out. Some burning and some water comes. Prabhupada used to know. Some term is also there for that. Weeping. Some weeping. Something is this. There is one conversation also associated with this. So then what happens is that Sanatana Goswami felt very embarrassed because Lord Chaitanya used to embrace him every day. He used to come to meet him, and in fact they were so exalted. Haridas Thakur never bothered the so-called caste Brahmanas who never allowed him to enter the Jagannath temple. Imagine. Why he has to bother? Like Jagannatha was coming at his place every day, Lord Chaitanya. Why he has to bother? So he was peacefully sitting and chanting his 192 rounds in bliss. Okay. And then what happened? Whenever the Rupa Sanatana Goswami, they also did not bother to enter the temple. They sat there because they didn't want to create commotion. Devotees by nature are humble. Devotees are always humble and peaceful. You say, if I enter this place, this temple, there will be a commotion here. Okay, no problem. I'll sit here. Krishna is everywhere. If I am sincere in my spirit, Krishna will definitely bless me. I don't need to disturb because there is a traditional custom there that people who are not Hindus are not allowed, even to this day. So, Haridas Thakur was born in a Muslim family, but he was Namacharya. In fact, Lord Chaitanya gave him the highest post of his mission. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission is to distribute the holy name. The biggest post is Namacharya, because he came to distribute the Nama of the Lord. So he gave him the Prabhupada the highest post in his mission. Namacharya Haridas Thakur, given by Lord Chaitanya personally. So he never entered. And similarly, Rupa Sanatana Goswami, previous, even though they were born in Saraswat families, they had almost converted. They were working for the Nawab Hussain Shah. Their names are also changed. Dabir Khazan Shakir Malik. Because of that, they also did not want to embarrass, create an embarrassing situation. They're peaceful, no problem. You people have trouble if I enter, I will sit here. I sit and do my sadhana here. But Lord Chaitanya knew they are sincere, used to personally come and every day meet them. Lord Chaitanya used to meet them every day. And then what happened was that he used to see Sanatana Goswami there. Sanatana Goswami at that time was visiting Jagannath Puri. They were otherwise staying at Vrindavan and doing the work assigned by Lord Chaitanya. The work is unimaginable. In fact, we can discuss hours their work for Lord Chaitanya. Such great service. So then what happened was Sanatana Goswami was feeling embarrassed because every day Lord Chaitanya used to come, used to embrace him. And he discussed what should I do. He discussed with Jagadananda that I should leave the place or I should commit suicide maybe. So anyway, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and he again that day he scolded Sanatana Goswami. This body, what you are having, belongs to me. I have a lot of work to do through this body. How can you think of committing suicide? Then he again embraced him. And this time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, being all powerful, when he embraced him, all his that allergy and the skin disease went away. And he became. There was one more time where Lord Chaitanya delivered a leper just by embrace. Correct? That is he's called a deliverer of a leper when he came to a place near Kurma Sthala in South India. That's another point. So, our body, therefore, Prabhupada is saying in the purport, our whole focus should be to offer everything to Krishna. Our body, our mind, our word. Then we can achieve this position of Padma Patram Ivaham Vasa. The moment we want to hold something, we have independent plan, independent desire, and no sense of cooperation to please Krishna, then it's all over. Then the material desires will harass you like anything. And when there is no peace of mind, there is no question of controlling any of the senses. Senses cannot be controlled where there is no peace of mind. It's a joke. Therefore, first thing a Brahmana should do, qualified Brahmana, that his mind should be peaceful. If his mind is not peaceful, he cannot follow any regular. Therefore, that when Krishna met a Brahmana who came with the message of Rukmini, Krishna asked the Brahmana, is your mind peaceful? Prabhupada says that is the work of a Brahmana. First, Samaha. If that is not there, he is not a Brahmana. You got it? What you can follow then? You cannot follow any principles. It's very important. You ask a Kshatriya, how is your kingdom growing? You ask a Vaishya, how is your money growing? You ask a Shudra, how is your job? Where you got job? Nowadays they ask, where you got job? I got job in this company, that company. That you ask for Shudra. And he will be very happy to tell you. Now I've changed my job. Now I've got job there. You ask a Vaishya, how much money I'm making? Vaishya will be very happy to tell you because that is his focusing. And then you ask a Kshatriya, what do you ask a Kshatriya? How is your control? How is your management? Oh, very nice, very nice. And then you ask a Brahmana, what do you ask him? How is your mind? Is your mind peaceful? What else to ask? Can you ask a Brahmana, are you making money nicely? How is your management going? No, that is not his business. His business is to keep mind peaceful. Sabaha. And even more, if you meet a transcendentalist, there is something more you should ask. When Prabhupada takes an example, when Dasharatha was at his kingdom, at that time Vishwamitra came. What did he ask him? Punarjanma Jayaya. How is your work of overcoming birth and death going on? Punarjanma. Did he achieve victory of Punarjanma? That's all. What else to ask? So when you greet any devotees, we should ask, what happened? How is your Punarjanma Jayaya going on? Correct? We should remind them. Sometimes we forget that this is our work. Sometimes we forget this is our work. Our work is to Punarjanma Jayaya. So the different classes of people have different work. But if this is the work, Punarjanma Jayaya, and you are trying to not only practice that work and propagate that work, then Padma Patram Ivaham Vasa. Just like a lotus leaf, you will not be touched by water, referring to three modes of nature will not touch. So that is being given by Krishna. That is a kindness of Krishna. In fact, later in the 13th chapter also, that famous shloka comes. Somebody is constantly engaged in devotion service. the Maya will not touch him. Where is the shloka? Mamacho vyavicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunana samati tetan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. When he is constantly engaged in devotional service, then he is protected by Krishna. Otherwise, this wetting will occur. And then it is very embarrassing. It's very embarrassing. So anyway, the chanting should go on as much as possible. It's all auspicious. As much we can chant. 16 round is just a minimum. And then after that, if possible, we should read Srila Prabhupada's books. Keep some time every day. We understand the glories of Krishna. Correct? When you spend time, at least 2 hours a day. How many hours? Every day, Pratidina. 1 hour? Oh, very good. Very nice. Then only we can read Prabhupada's books. You have to finish Gita, you have to finish Krishna, you have to finish Bhagavatam. How do you read unless you keep some time every day? Correct? It will not happen. And as you read, it becomes so pleasurable. Prabhupada says, for 1 or 2 hours, you forget the whole material world. You are focused on the spiritual world. Correct? Therefore, there was one devotee and somebody asked him, why this problem? He said, Prabhupada said actually. One devotee went to Prabhupada, my mind is very agitated. Prabhupada said, what can I do? I given you books you don't read, what can I do? What can I do? You have to take advantage of these books. And you see anybody reading books of Prabhupada, first thing you'll be very peaceful and happy. They get the books to do their own work. They're very powerful. It's the heart of a pure devotee. Prabhupada said these books are my personal transcendental ecstasy. And associating with the topmost, such a great soul and hearing the heart which is calling out for Krishna. It's a great fortune. Everybody should sit that daily. They have a time to hear or to read Prabhupada's books. It's very, very auspicious. Then you can say, Padma Patram Yuvam Vasa. Then you can get strength. Just like we were discussing yesterday, 2 things go on parallelly. One side is that I develop spiritual power. How do you develop spiritual power? By service. By service to the deities, by service to the devotees, by service to the holy name, by service to prasadam. Slowly by the mercy here, you develop spiritual power. On the other side, we keep senses away from sense objects. We keep winning the material. Senses keep agitating the senses, so we keep neglecting the sense gratification. Both sides go on. Because in the beginning time, we just have to neglect because this power is weak. Once this power becomes big, then you can cut off. But in the beginning, you cannot cut. So what you should do, keep the senses away from sense object and keep developing this sword of knowledge. Once the sword of knowledge is developed, you can cut. But in the beginning stages, we can't cut. I gave the example of the tiger so many times. If the tiger you have to capture in the beginning, you have no power to control him. So they starve him for some time. When the tiger is starved, then they bring a whip. Otherwise, if you don't starve the tiger, if you bring the whip, it will not work. The tiger will eat you. Correct? So similarly, the senses are very agitated now. So we have to make them weak. At the same time, you have to get your sword ready. How sword means? The spiritual power has to increase. Your chanting, your hearing, your desire to serve. Spiritual power means it's a spiritual impetus to serve Krishna. Your impetus, your enthusiasm, is a transcendental. The Devim Prakriti, it is that is increasing. With that, we can cut the desire for sense gratification. And then we are so much focused there. Padma Patra Vivambasa. We are saved from the being drowned by the material energy. Srila Prabhupada ki, Bhagavad Gita ki.